What's up, Patriots? Forge a Patriot, Gunner Forge. Hope you had an excellent weekend. The new week is starting off blessed for you and yours. The results are in. And without any further ado, I want to jump into it right now. But I do have one small favor to ask in the beginning. Please bookmark this video. And the reason why I ask that is because it's going to be a little bit longer. So, not just a quick 90-second, 120-second thing. And I want to make sure that you're able to come back and finish if you can't watch it right now in its entirety. The test was pretty straightforward. I'm going to cover it as promised at a high level overview. We will do a much deeper dive into this and a lot of other things Wednesday, April 29th, 9:15 p.m. at our next Spaces Live event. For the purpose of the video, though, I want to kind of recap the test. Friday, I was able to post 3 hours. Each post was spaced 6 hours apart. Saturday, I posted twice, 6 hours apart. Sunday, two times again. But on Sunday, I went 10 hours between posts. All of this was uncomfortable for me because it goes against what I normally do, but it does line up with the findings from the article I shared around how the new Phoenix model algorithm chooses to distribute content. It actually recommends and prefers 4 to 6 hour spacing between posts, up to, in some cases, 10 to 12 hours. Now, I will say that this is all going to be relevant on account size. Okay. So, smaller accounts, if your goal is to maximize impressions per post and get the most possible from a monetization standpoint, then not only are you going to have to post less, but you're also going to have to make sure the quality is there and allow for proper spacing. Bigger accounts, you can arguably get away with being able to post more just because you have a sheer larger number of followers. But again, the minimum, regardless of how many followers you have, according to the insights from this article, between posts should be no less than 4 hours to be able to get maximum amount of impressions. Once I posted everything, all I did was focus on replying to each and every single one of you who took the time out of your day to comment, which I am grateful for. There was a lot of great back and forth conversations. I appreciate that. And I will tell you that that is the number one thing the Phoenix algorithm model looks for, to do two things. One, how it chooses to distribute your content on a broader basis, platform wide. Two, it also looks at it from a monetization standpoint. Likes do not count towards monetization anymore. They're appreciated, and they're a great way of another follower or another community member saying, like, hey, I like it. Good job. But it doesn't count towards monetization. It also doesn't count towards engagement and help your post to be distributed on a broader level, platform wide. The three biggest things that will determine the success of your post, and also how much, if anything, you are able to receive monetization wise off each individual post: comments, back and forth between the author and the follower. When there is a real conversation taking place, that can be up to 150x multiplier. The second thing is when you quote post another creator's content. You add your own context to it, you throw it onto your timeline. That is a big signal of endorsement to the algorithm. The third and final thing is when you bookmark another creator's content. Yet again, another strong signal telling the algorithm this is high quality, valuable content. People are looking to come back and rewatch it or check it out again at a later time. That also helps towards distribution and also counting towards monetization. The tough part for me is I love being able to help support others. And for the purpose of this test, if I were to have quoted or even a simple repost of someone else's content, that counted as one of my posts for that given day. That's why I wasn't able to do that, which really was hard for me because I love helping to support and lift the voices up of others. And that's one of my biggest reasons for being on this platform. I will tell you on a post for post basis. So if I compare, let's say, a post from last Thursday at 6:30 a.m. and I compare it to Friday's post at 6:30 a.m. or Saturday's post at 6:30 a.m., post for post, when I followed the rules that were outlined within this article, these posts did perform better. and they were fueled by the comments and the conversations back and forth with each and every one of you within those posts. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to say in closing, just again to be respectful of your time before Wednesday. You have to determine your why. Why are you on X? If your goal is truly to build relationships, be a part of a community, and be able to chat with people throughout our country and worldwide, then a lot of this probably won't pertain to you, rather. And I would tell you don't change anything. Post how you feel and whenever you feel is right for you. If you are someone, though, who's leaning more towards the sole monetization end of the platform, then we're all going to have to change up our game. And less is more is truly what the platform is looking for and rewarding. Posting 10, 12, 14, 16 times a day with a bunch of reposts and quotes of other people's content, while it's a good thing from a support standpoint, it will not help your account when you are posting your own original content, let alone helping towards the monetization aspect. I find myself in the middle. I would consider myself a hybrid. And that for me was my biggest lesson I learned that I feel is invaluable. Algorithm models will come and go, changes will be implemented and taken out because it's a constant evolving scale, right? It's up and down, and it's going to do based on what's going to be best for X and the overall user experience. I get that. Do you know the one thing that's always going to be constant regardless of the algorithm? All of you, each and every one of you. And I will never sacrifice that. So one post might get some more impressions, or I might get a slightly payout on the next cycle. I won't do that. And I don't mean any disrespect, and I'm not judging anyone who chooses to do that. Again, that's why I said you have to pick what your why is and what's most important to you. Look, I could go on and on about this forever, but again, I want to save most of it for our spaces on Wednesday. I would love to hear your comments below. What are your thoughts? Is this what you expected? Is it something different than what you expected? Do you plan to attend the spaces on Wednesday so you can hear this covered more in depth along with our guest speaker? Plus, in addition to that, our amazing co hosts. We want to try to really build a community and help lift others up. And I felt this was something important to try to hopefully start to answer a lot of questions that I know myself, as well as all of you, have had for quite some time now. Hopefully, you'll feel like some of this video did that. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. May God bless you, your families, our troops and law enforcement officers, and may God bless the United States of America. Let's keep forging ahead together, Patriots.